I'm Cindy Brown, and let's queer up South Florida and Florida. After DeSantis bans inclusive street art, St. Pete installs Progress Pride bike racks. The now infamous Department of Transportation policy change calling for the removal of Pride-themed crosswalks has seen pushback from many state and local governments. Here in Florida, Governor DeSantis has been persistent in forcing the removals of 5 street murals celebrating Pride or other minority groups. The town of St. Petersburg saw the removal of not just rainbow crosswalks, but also a Black History Matters street mural, a street mural celebrating common ground in the community, and others. St. Pete Mayor Ken Walsh wanted a way to continue to honor the marginalized residents of the area. So the city has installed 11 Pride-themed bike racks. In an email to the City Council, the mayor's chief of staff, Jordan Doyle Walsh, wrote, quote, "We were excited that there was consensus around one of the administration's proposed actions discussed during the previous Committee of the Whole meeting and other forums regarding city and community response. We thank the City Council for supporting and collaborating on this effort, and we look forward to working with you and the community as we move forward together." End quote. That is creative pushback.
Yeah.
They did the same thing in Miami Beach. They dug up the crosswalk.
Right.
So now you go down Ocean Drive, there's no crosswalk, but there are Pride banners on the light poles. You know, I was born in St. Pete, and I'm very proud of the mayor and what the city council has done. And really, it's about celebrating the people who live in your community.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, but brightly colored crosswalks are safer.
Yeah, right.
Period.
Yeah,
Exactly.
If you're driving and you see it, yeah,
Yes.
Yeah,
it
you
is
know
much
it's a
safer.
crosswalk.
Of course.
And I love the way these different municipalities have been creative to kind of combat this whole anti-LGBT, anti-Black Lives Matter, anti-anything that's not like them.
Yeah. But, and I always say this, that it's annoying. Like, yes, our state government is problematic, and our national government right now is problematic. And they're not worried about public safety. They are trying to erase communities. They are trying to dehumanize LGBTQ people of color, people who have immigrated. This is an intentional way of trying to erase whole groups of people. But here's the thing about these horrible people doing these horrible things. They didn't come rushing in tanks. These are all elected people.
Right.
Yeah.
And so hopefully things are terrible enough that we're finally looking at ourselves and saying, this isn't who we want to be, and we're not going to ever say, because most of this, who are people who are now having buyer's remorse, but they weren't fooled. They said from the beginning, this is who we are and what we want to do.
When
they
people
just
tell you
thought
who they are,
they showed that.
they just foolishly thought the tiger was never going to eat their face.
right.
And
Surprise.
Well, but I mean, the tide is turning. The new mayor of Miami, a woman, a Democrat,
And she's amazing. She was on the Miami-Dade County Commission. She was one of the commissioners who advocated for the LGBTQ advisory board, which I sit on, and very progressive. And, you know, speaking about creative way to combat these erasures, you know, in Orlando, there was a crosswalk by the Pulse
Memorial.
By the
Memorial. Yes, I was
and
just there,
after they took that up, a group of folks went out there every single morning with chalk.
Yep.
And they drew that rainbow crosswalk.
Right.
The rain would wash it away, but they came back the next day and the next day and the next day.
Yeah.
And they, you know, they try and erase us, but we're here.
We are here. More Progress Pride racks, more Progress Pride bridges, more Progress Pride lampposts, more rainbows everywhere, please. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a shame that we have to be that creative in resisting our own country, our own state, our own city, or whatever, but we do, so let's keep at it.
Yes.
There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by sharing them and subscribing to Queer News Tonight.